Welcome to the channel, Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, Theologist. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Pro-Brick exclusive or Pro-Theologist. This one will come through on Pro-Theologist. The Jehovah's Witnesses. Established on the deceptions of Jack and Charles Taze Russell, who began writing a magazine that took off better than anybody expected. As a matter of fact, it took off so well, the profits were worth cutting off another one of the original members for the benefits. Jack and Charles Taze Russell threw a queue and took over the early part of the Jehovah's Witnesses, wiping out one of the major financial investors in the original inception. Built on the 1914 "The World Will End" prophecy. The Jehovah's Witnesses deceived millions of people without conscience, teaching them to cognitively distort their thinking, to distort their thinking in a way in which they would resist truth, become cognitively dissident to truth, and believe lies. The world did not end in 1914, or 25, or 35, or 75. Yet the lives of the people that were in the organization were changed forever. These people believed that the world would end, and therefore their investments and their decisions towards having a house or a home were forfeited. Forfeited by way of the fact that they believed the world was going to end, and when it didn't end, and these people had given their money to the Watchtower organization, millions of people, millions of dollars, they profited. These people had nothing. They were homeless, broke, poor, deceived. They had no trades or skills. The Watchtower never offered their money back. They were betrayed, demoralized, humiliated. They became sick, many of them, with severe mental health injuries, trauma. They felt abandoned by the organization and betrayed. There was no apology. There was no repentance. It was like nothing happened for the organization. The magazine came out the next week. Business as usual, while people were starving, dying, and left with nowhere to turn because they'd given everything to the organisation based on severe, theologically abusive lies, life-altering and destroying lies. The Watchtower took no accountability, no responsibility. There was no fund for the people that ended up with nothing. The meetings went on as usual. Nobody seemed to care less. People had no money, no homes, no future. The Watchtower lied. They became sick, ill. They had mental problems. The word mental disease comes from the Jehovah's Witnesses who suffered after the false prophecies. That's this mentally diseased. They say that the people that aren't Jehovah's Witnesses are mentally diseased. They made that up when the prophecies failed and the actual Jehovah's Witnesses did become mentally harmed. You see, the Watchtower is malignantly narcissistic. It has no care or regard or concern for its members. Its main objective is a business multi-conglomerate corporation that uses religion as a shopfront. And it keeps people caught in its web of lies, boxing people in a way in which they can't find their way out of the maze and the deception, of the lies and the deceit. That's why it is called a cult. That's why it's banned in Russia and other European countries. And a lot of people have gone mad as a consequence of being involved in the theological abuse of the Watchtower. Shunned by families, shunned by their mothers and fathers, unsure of who's with them and who's against them. The Jehovah's Witnesses have severe fear. They're socially inadaptive. They know how to chameleonize themselves and lie about the sexual abuse inside the organisation. I do ask you to watch the Australian Royal Commission on YouTube into the Jehovah's Witnesses. It's enough to make anybody wish the authorities could just shut it down and protect the community. Theological abuse will cause child sexual abuse and lies and deception and shunning and the two-witness rule and all this other destructive, horrible, unchristian, satanic behaviour. People look back with regret. They look back with remorse. They reconsider where they've spent their lives and can't remember most of it because a lot of it's cognitive dissonance, trying to convince themselves that the lies were truth, only to realise that the lies were lies. Then many of them spend the rest of their lives trying to work out who they are. You have to find your way out of the Jehovah's Witnesses. You've been lied to. You'll be lied to again. And time is running out. You have to find your way out. This is Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist.